Hi, how's it going? Today I'm gonna talk about the process of adaptation of the traditional Brazilian styles to harmonic instruments. Um, this is very common in samba, in bossa nova, and baião, but I think to it's good to extend this to more unknown styles. I think Brazil has a lot of richness in its music, so there are lots of interesting sounds. Um, I'm gonna show a little about what I think, what I do, what I experiment, and some exercises I use to practice to give me more improve my ability of improvising and talking and playing the language of these different styles. So I'm gonna play a little for you. It's here and the recording. I'm gonna take the sounds of the drums of Minas. It's called Tambores de Minas. And this is the track Casa Aberta of the album Pietá by Milton Nascimento. That is a song that is called Casa Aberta, where the lyrics talk about a woman that plays the drums, and when they say this, it starts to this traditional rhythm. Let me show you. I'm gonna sing together. I've heard lots of times. It's simple, but I've sang because when you try to sing the rhythm, you can understand what is more important in this rhythm. So I'm gonna play just a piece for you, not play the whole song because we could have problems with the brights in the YouTube and other. I don't know if in Facebook also. It's a few measures, but this rhythm is that. So we have one low part. And we can transform, for example, the first thing I would do, it's and so this can be a little uncomfortable in melodic instruments because it's in some situations it's not good to repeat the notes. It can cause different effect than you want to create in the percussion. So one thing I suggest is try to transform in a melody. So, in this example, I'm transforming a kind of rule in some melody. So the process is playing lots of measures. repetition is interesting because the more you do, the more swing you're gonna put in your playing. People used to underestimate the rhythm cells and play just a little and search for variations. But I've seen some workshop of an interesting musician, Brazilian musician, that's called Fabio Leal, and he told about the repetition makes we play rhythm with a lot of swing. It gives us more a more fluent playing and a more precise playing. So I recommend you not search in a few times for variations. Search for playing with precision and swing. All right. So study, for example. Thing I think it's important when you play the piano, for example, when you are imitating percussion, it's important to use more dry notes or staccato notes. You don't use pedal in the most situations you are trying to imitate some percussion, because it doesn't sound, the notes aren't long. And a lot of percussion instruments. So pay attention in the articulation and try to reproduce. So this could be one situation applied to this percussion. So I can transform also. And can take the higher part of the percussion and transform an accord. So this is what we can do. I can change the chord. Let me think how to do, because I have not just played. To search for some adaptation now of this second chord, because we don't have this attack, but I'm gonna think when I have some problem that needs creativity. I think I try a little and I leave my brain working and I do other stuff. During this process, is important to create. If you are a pianist or you play the accordion or other instrument that you can do two things at the same time, I recommend you to study the independence between the hands. The quarter notes After that, 80 notes. So, for example, I'm having difficulties at the end of this cell, so I can work just where it's difficult. So if you realize it improved a little, but when I stop studying and return again, probably the same part I'm gonna have difficult. So try to remind what parts of the rhythm and what cells you have more difficult and work on them. After that, I'm gonna do some 16 notes. So you are seeing that this repeated notes are a little difficult to me. Now, sorry for connection problems. I can also return to the parts that I recognized as difficult ones. I'm gonna use dotted 8th note with 16th note. Note that this part of the roll at the end of the pattern is a little difficult to me in this first 30. It's common, you have parts, and so you can study just then. It's strange to study just the part, but it's gonna resolve the problem. Many people try to just study the whole section or the whole pattern, and sometimes you have a problem on it that you need to resolve that problem. All right. So I've worked on it. Now I'm gonna use the syncopation. Now the 8th note with 2 16th notes. The opposite, two 16th notes with one 8th note. So this was a little of the exercise of making the hands independent. Right? We can also think different textures, and one I think it's important, for example, if you are a piano player, it's to give chords. Just with one hand, and you give chords to it. That this attack is staccato. So you can work at the same manner during the independence. Problem is also here. I'm gonna take some days to resolve this problem, repeating the solution of it. that, you're gonna use the same the 16 notes. And so you work to resolve the problems. You can work a little and change. You don't need to resolve the problem, because when you change the rhythm, you're gonna have the same problem again. So I recommend you to work a little in all the rhythms, because they all are going to improve together. If you stop just in working in one per turn, you're gonna take much more time to learn all of them. The brain needs to study a little, forget, and come back. This is the process that the brain has to improve. And some people thinks they have to master one by one. All right, you can master a little of all together. All right, you don't need to finish the work. And after you can have some ability, you can make in slow tempos some kind of improvise. Very nice question. Very nice. How do I know the melodic language of the Tambores de Minas? I don't know the language of Tambores de Minas, but I have one strategy. I appeal to the similarity of the different styles. This first measure of the poem, it's very similar to a baião. So I use the same melodic rhythms as baião would use. Note that I was using some syncopations. And some anticipations. Hi João, thanks for watching. Thanks for your audience. So you can try to improvise a little to unlock this ability, and when you feel more comfortable, you can improvise and make the corrections during your improvise. And this can sound counterintuitive for many of you, because why do I need to correct my improvise if I'm improvising? And when you're improvising at the piano, you need to create some independence. And if you don't give you a chance sometimes to repeat the part that you try to do, you won't master these ideas. And even if this idea you won't do again, you are creating some ability that can help in other similar ideas. So it's very recommended to do this improvise with correction. Alright? So I'm gonna do a little. So for example, idea was that didn't happen in the manner that I thought, so I'm gonna try to execute the better. Sometimes not the same idea, but it's similar, okay? It easier to you. So I'm gonna try to execute better this idea of syncopation. Some problem at the beginning. Better. Can sound better. That's right. Note that it's I'm entering wrong here. Missing an F here. sometimes I'm missing the note F, and no problem with that. You can work a little in this manner that you correct, and you can sometimes also to rest a little. You can work when you mistake, you don't that is no problem, you can continue. This is one interesting work you can do. So you can also try to search for another ideas. For example, so So note that I've used some chords and create some sensation in the higher part of the instrument. And you can create this with chords, dividing the hands and doing melody together. And this is a more difficult job that you can do. You can use the melody here, the higher part of the chord here, and the bass line helping with the chord. This was the solution that I was searching for. I can play together with the low part. Or just do the rhythm on the left hand with the chords in the right. So two different solutions. To use just the left hand to do. can search. I can transform in melody the rhythm. So then in this part I create. Many of them I have to train, but I'm finding myself. I'm finding the style all over my keyboard, and you can do if you play the vibraphone, if you play all the instruments, you can try to explore the different parts of it with this percussive thing. So you can explore and discover, and like I said, you can explore the melodies. Can when you don't know also the feels of the styles you are playing. I've heard some recordings of drums, and I didn't found some fills for the drums. You can use fills from other styles. For example, so for example, this was Favos fill. And you can use the fill of maracatu, for example, that has some similarities with this. Or some break. Let's do this phrasing better. So you can export some ideas from other styles if it's very the ostinato is you have just one ostinato without variations. All right. So this is a little of my process of studying the different Brazilian rhythms, understanding them, putting in my instrument. Even I'm gonna play with the people that play the style, and I don't need to repeat the cell. This is important too. We get the rhythmic language of this style. So I recommend you to hear Brazilian music of different states and search for different styles. You're gonna have the liberty of creating something that was never heard in your instrument. All right. So I hope this live could help you in this process, and if you have some doubts or you need some help, just write on the comments. I'm every day doing lives about the Brazilian accent improvisation, and it will be a pleasure to help you. If you prefer to watch these lives at YouTube or Facebook, they happen all days and Instagram, but they are I put them in Facebook and YouTube. All right. If you like, and I'm Luciano Ruas, and subscribe my channel, and your doubts are gonna help me to make a better classes. And after some months we're gonna have a course also that with your questions will be very available. All right. Thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow for more quick tips and lives about the Brazilian accent improvisation. Bye bye.